The Nintendo Switch Direct. I got a lot to talk about when it comes to this. We got to talk about the Switch 2. We also got to talk about Final Fantasy Remake being announced for the Switch and not Xbox. Which, I got a lot to say about that. We'll get to that here in a minute. This is going to be probably a relatively long episode, man. We're going to talk about this. Got a lot to go into. We're going to get into it, though, man. What's going on, you guys? Gaming Eyed here coming at you in another video. The Switch 2! The Switch 2, man. You guys know I have covered a vast, good amount of games when it comes to the Switch. I've covered a good amount of their first party. I've talked about their third party and how it doesn't really appeal to me. I have been a very big person when it comes to the Switch. I'm very, I like it, man. I like their games. I know a lot of people don't like the Pokemon stuff. I eat that stuff up. I mainly play the Nintendo platforms for their games. I don't really care about their third-party stuff. I got an Xbox. I got a PC. I got a PlayStation. I got a Steam Deck. I don't need a Switch for third-party stuff. I only really need it for first-party stuff. So when I came into this, that's really what I was looking for. And it's not necessarily on Nintendo sell me a Switch. I'm a gamer. I make content. It was already happening. I was already buying that sucker. I was just looking at it like, man, Nintendo, show me what I'm playing day one. Show me that. That's where my biggest thing was. Is like, show me what I'm playing. And I think that's what, for the most part is what I really looked into. And I have to be honest. You guys know that I'm very big on transparency. I will say how I feel. And I did feel a little bit that this particular thing, they felt a little bit to me. And what I mean by that is like, I particularly look for the Switch stuff. I even got like the GameCube like controller that I could hook up to the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if this will work on the Nintendo Switch too, but that's what I want. They did announce something really cool, which was a GameCube emulator that was going on here. But what we're going to do, because I do have a lot of things I want to talk about the Final Fantasy thing. I'm going to talk about that after I really get my bars off on the Switch. But we're going to get over this. So here's what the Switch 2 announced. They did go into huge lengths on like the actual Switch itself. Like they, and that doesn't necessarily mean that, I didn't think they would do that. But I am interested that they went that direction, because I do feel when it comes to stuff like that, it's interesting that they went that direction instead of just going ahead and like, showing more of the games, because we already kind of know what the platform is going to look like. That was my big thing, because I think we all knew going into this, we knew what the platform was going to look like. It's going to be a Switch. And that's what you really expect. Normally, I would put my camera here, but I want you guys to see the whole page, so I'm not going to put my camera in this particular video. So, you look through here, Switch 2, release date, price, hardware. It was, valued at $449. They didn't give it a $500 one, which I think we kind of expected that. I expected them to go more towards the 400 range, but they did get that middle lane. Nintendo Switch 2 has 4K support, HDI, Joy-Con with mouse controls, 256 gigabytes of storage, red cartridges, and so much more. This actually had a lot more of a performance, enhancements than I originally anticipated. I'm going to be real with you guys. Like, look, am I glad Switch stuff has these options? Yes, I think, we need to get into the 20th era, much less the 22nd era. And to me, when it comes to stuff like this, is I did feel that they were falling behind a lot of things, and the performance mode especially. I never really thought I was going to see anything related to a performance mode when it comes to the Switch. So it was kind of interesting to see that they're doing that in any way, shape, or form. They did put a game chat in, but here's my thing. and maybe you guys put in the comment section below. Maybe you guys will have a different opinion on this. Is it too late for game chat? Because I feel like PlayStation, I feel like Xbox, everyone's kind of migrating towards a center hub known as Discord. So I have a lot of friends, I have a couple family members too, that primarily game on the Switch. Do they own PCs? Yes. But most of the time they will like game on their PC, on the Switch. And what they'll do is they will use Discord to communicate. Now, maybe you guys can put in the comment section below. Do you think that this is going to matter in the long run, or do you think people are actually going to use it? To me, I'm kind of like in the middle. I think there is people that's going to use this, like a lot of casual audience is going to use this, people that only play like Super Smash Brothers, but I'm very curious on like logistically, the people that would go out and buy this day one, are they going to use it? Obviously, day one isn't mattered into that degree. So, it is what it is on that. So then you got the Switch 2, new Pro controller, and you got a camera. All right, so let's... First off, I like the new Pro controller. I like the texture of it. It looks like there's white in the front of It's got that C button. The C button, it opens up like the social interaction stuff. I'm assuming game chat, maybe messaging. They didn't really show that. The camera's $50. I don't know really anyone that would buy this. Now, they did show that this would be used with Super Mario Jamboree. And I do think that that's really nice, and I think that's going to like captivate certain people of getting it. But I'm very curious in my particular self on like who's spending $50 to use a camera. I don't know. I feel like there is an audience to some degree, but I don't know if like they're going to sell this as much as maybe they think. They had Joy-Con was different. Pretty much everything was different in terms of the Switch itself. When I saw that, I kind of saw we heard the feedback from the Switch, and this is our Switch 2 moment where we're going to really show you. They showed you like some sharing programs. Like the Switch 2 itself, especially the dock. The dock has like a cooling central place in it. Like I think it's built better. It looks better than the original Switch dock. So I'm really, curious on that. We finally saw our first look at Mario Kart World. And this is like essentially the biggest game they really showed from first party. And that's probably why I particularly was disappointed with this. Because as much as I like Mario Kart, and I do like Mario Kart, I do feel I personally need something else to be excited to play this day one. And that's why, for the most part, this Direct didn't appeal to me as much as I would have liked for it to, because I wanted them to show me more of the stuff that I would play on the Switch, which is first party. But I get it. I get it. Then they showed, Donkey Kong Bonanza. All right. I'm sure a lot of people are going to like this title, but it didn't really appeal to me. I wasn't really feeling what I saw on it. I would have to see. I think I need to see it a little bit more. I like the Donkey Kong platforming thing, and I'm not even the biggest Donkey Kong fan in general, but that comes out July the 17th, so like a month after the Switch 2 launches. So I think there is going to be a lot of, general hype for that game, which is, I personally wasn't one of them. Then they announced a Kirby Air Riders, which Kirby Air Riders is unique, it's different. I think that's really going to help them in the long run and getting to an expanding audience. I might try this depending on what goes down, because that comes out, I'd have to look. That comes, the Forgotten Land one, that comes out, it brings out a new story, and that comes out August the 28th. But I think that's like an add-on to the already gotten games that they have. They didn't announce like a performance and a quality mode of Metro Prime 4. That's one of the biggest things I think they wanted to highlight, is like the Switch 2 is a different version than the Switch. You're going to be able to play a good amount of games from the Switch. I don't think they confirmed everything, but it did seem like a lot of things are going to be compatible, and we're going to have performance and quality modes for the older games. It is a $10 upcharge. Even if you own those games, you have to pay $10. I don't agree with that, but I still want to play those games, so I'm probably going to be forced to pay that, that $10, $20 thing, because they showed the Zelda games. So that's good when it comes to stuff like that. Apparently, Pokemon is also going to get one, but I'm going to buy Pokemon on the Switch 2 itself, so I won't have to buy that upcharge. They showed some welcome tour thing, and that's the first time I've ever seen a game where they essentially show like do a built-in, but they charge for it. Like this is like one of those things where they show you what the Switch 2 is about, but they're gonna charge for it. So that's interesting. This Nintendo GameCube classic emulator that's going on the online store. Bravo. You know, they showed a couple games I would be interested. I'm interested in those games. This is probably one of the biggest announcements that me personally had with this. Now look, I don't think we need to go from game to game. They showed a lot of third-party stuff here. They didn't really show anything else. They showed some first-party. And that's my biggest takeaway from this. I wanted more first-party stuff. That's what I wanted. Does that mean that I'm not going to buy it? No. I'm definitely buying this day one. I'm excited to play it. It's just me particularly to get me hyped to play it now. I wanted to see what I was playing day one. Now, obviously I got a lot of games that I haven't even played on the Switch, that I own on the Switch. So it's going to be nice to play those games, hopefully at least locked at the intended frames that they locked on the Switch too, depending if they're compatible with the thing. Then we got a certain announcement, man. Final Fantasy VII Remake coming to the Nintendo Switch. The funny thing is they kind of messed up in the stream. I don't know why they didn't just make a video and preview it. Kind of crazy that they did that. They did private it, so I think they're going to upload like an official one that everything works the way it's supposed to. That's probably why they privated it, because I highly doubt that they're not going to put it back up. Probably the actual video itself without the messing up stuff. My issue when it comes to this is Final Fantasy VII Remake was announced for the Switch, and I looked on Xbox's stuff. I looked at Aaron Greenberg. I looked at Final Fantasy's Twitter. I looked at, Square Enix. Nowhere that this game's coming to Xbox. Now, look, I do think you have the right to be annoyed that this game keeps going to other platforms. It's like it's everywhere but Xbox at this point. But I do feel that at this point, it's like, we have the June showcase here soon, in the next, 2 months. Most of the time, with scenarios like this, they don't necessarily split the announcement. Like, for instance, when the Final Fantasy VII, 8, and then the remakes and stuff was announced on the Nintendo Direct, it was announced by Aaron Greenberg and the Xbox account that it was also going over there as well. Most of the time, the third party does it. What they'll say is, here's the platforms it's coming on. Because when you have like these deals, these promotion deals, usually they just put their logo on that because that is a third party kind of thing. One thing I will say is just like, I do feel, even though I agree with you guys, it's frustrating seeing this go everywhere. I do feel like because this is a hardware reveal, they're doing stuff not traditionally 100% because of things going into this. I do think that's the case here. I personally believe, and maybe I'm wrong, but I do think that Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming out for Xbox either at the same time it's coming out for the Switch 2 or a little bit later because of the announcement with the Switch 2. In my personal opinion, this June they're going to announce it the same day as that port with Switch 2. And the reason that they didn't say it today is because Microsoft wants to formally announce it on their stage because they know that Final Fantasy, especially 7, Remake and Rebirth, are really big titles and they want to make sure that they do those right. So that's my hope with the matter. Do I think that's going to happen? Yes. Is it guaranteed to happen? No, nothing's not guaranteed in this business. But what I will say is the Switch did a good job. And, when it comes to Xbox, I do think that they are doing really good work across the seas getting these games to come over. I did find it interesting that the Nintendo Direct on a third-party basis didn't have no Xbox games. So that makes me think that maybe Xbox is going to handle how they announce games coming to other platforms, not on their platforms, which I'm okay with. Put that as a Twitter post, a YouTube video. Don't let other platforms come out and announce your stuff on their stuff. You could easily still get that third-party publishing money without doing more damage to your brand in general of hardware. You know, obviously, it's not going to hurt the ecosystem, but it definitely hurt the hardware when you announce exclusives leaving it. Bravo when it comes to Switch. I think the Switch 2, preview was good. The Switch 2 Direct was good. Am I disappointed because I didn't see more first party? Yes. But what I will say is I'm sure a lot of people like the Kirby. A lot of people like the Donkey Kong. I was excited with the Donkey Kong until I saw more gameplay. Then I was kind of like cooled off a little bit on it. And Mario Kart looked fantastic. So I think there is going to be stuff to play here at launch. Even for me, it's just I would prefer something a little bit different in terms of the Donkey Kong thing. But anyway, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm very curious you guys' opinion on here. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. I'm starting to consistently put out more content. We do reviews over here. We cover news. Just stuff that's interesting to me. I'm very interested in the industry in general, how it operates, so it's easy to make content on that. Definitely hit the like button if you guys appreciate the video and you found it informative. You can follow me over there on Twitter at LordAddictILP. I got a streaming channel, Addict Arena. I've been slowly coming back to there. Got a lot of stuff going on right now, so it's kind of hard for me to really put my hands on that channel, but hopefully I'll be there sometime this week. But I appreciate it for coming through, and until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. Man, that Switch 2, it looks good. I like the hardware more than anything. The games definitely lost me a little bit, but the hardware looks really clean.